Pets. They are central to our lives. From when we are young, through the highs and the lows of life, they never leave our side. And as we grow together, they teach us the meaning of unconditional love.
Our mission at the animal shelter is to connect pets and people. It's really about more than just adopting animals into homes. It's about how those animals make us better people. It's no secret that our community loves animals, and that has been true since the beginning.
In 1972, the organization was initially founded. At that point, it was just this amazing network of volunteers who were committed to animal welfare. They would take lost animals and place them into homes until someone could adopt them. That grew, and in 1982, the shelter opened the doors to the original facility. They actually saw overwhelming numbers coming through. The local stray population was booming. Even just 2 cats are capable of producing up to 420,000 cats in 7 years. The shelter was not equipped to handle these numbers. They didn't see another way to deal with this, other than euthanization. This was the common practice across the nation when dealing with overpopulation.
The thought of any healthy animal having to be killed is just unacceptable.
In 1999, we decided to become a no-kill shelter. No other shelter in the state had made that commitment before. This was a huge challenge. The shelter was instantly overcrowded, and people were up in arms about the decision.
Letters to the editor complaining that we didn't know what we were doing.
It was incredibly controversial. Legitimate debates going on about how overcrowded is too overcrowded.
It was the best intentions, but they just were not equipped to handle it.
We can't just shelter our way out of the overpopulation problem.
We found that people were struggling to get access to spay and neuter services. So we thought, what if we just go ahead and offer spay and neuter services for no charge?
So that any animal that's born is wanted.
That was the turning point. Within only a few years, the stray population dropped by half.
With fewer animals coming in our doors, we could spend time working with the animals we already have.
We began training our pets. We gave them much needed medical services. We started educating our community on animal welfare. We doubled our efforts to connect them with loving families.
More and more people were coming in our doors to adopt animals. Our adoption numbers soared. The shelter became a happy place.
And our community became a beacon for what animal welfare can be.
We realized, okay, we're doing pretty well here, but there are pockets of people right over our county line that don't have this same experience.
These were communities that had flown under the animal welfare radar. No one had ever helped them before.
She's about 6 months old, and she was totally wild. She just became mine because I love her. People get a lot of cats. They get cats dropped off. They can't afford to spay and neuter them. Then the population grows.
I can't see them out on the road. You know, I would feel like the world's worst person if I went out there the next day and they were dead.
When you have a dog that is a stray, that keeps coming to your door at night because he has nowhere else to go, or a mom cat having kittens that has now decided your deck is the place where she's going to live, if you don't have a resource, you have to figure out what to do with those animals on your own.
In my lifetime, I know what it's like to starve. I've been cold and homeless. And to me, that kind of related back to when I saw dogs. I didn't want them to be homeless and starving. I just want to bring them in and, you know, say, come on, sleep on the bed with me and life will be good again.
We realized that people were a part of the equation, and by doing so, we could get more animals homes. And since May 2015, we have helped rural communities and offer free services to people and their pets.
It evolved into a community trusting us.
They never seem to judge me. It's just that this is what I have, and we're gonna take care of this. I didn't have to worry about puppies. I didn't have to worry about dogs fighting. The food that they've brought, spaying and neutering, everything. They have made my life a complete turnaround.
Really recognize that whole piece of how animals can open up our world and help bring a community together, and recognize other people as individuals and not judge, but rather celebrate who they are and what they have to offer. The mission of the animal shelter is to connect people and pets. That's really our goal, bringing people and animals together.
Our commitment to this mission has taken us beyond our valley. From working with people in communities with no animal welfare resources to helping shelters in crisis. When natural disasters strike, we've been a refuge for those animals in need. All of this to celebrate the true connection between people and their pets.
He was really looking for a home, so as soon as we saw him, we were like, that's the one that we've got to get. Playful, goofy, just becomes part of your life. I don't even know what you do without him.
I love living with animals, and they do enrich my life. That connection, that almost spiritual connection, really.
It's hard to talk about something that means that much to you, you know? To put it into words. He's just my pal. He's my buddy. And it's that simple, and it's that pure. And if you're lucky enough to find one as special as him, then you hit the jackpot, and it just makes your life better every day.
When we look at the state, it is lovable and adoptable pets just like these who are faced with a very different reality.
For a second year in a row, an animal activist group has ranked Idaho in the top 5 worst states when it comes to animal protection laws.
Workers at the shelter are now struggling with places to put them. It's forcing staff at times to euthanize those animals.
There are thousands of healthy, adoptable dogs and cats being euthanized in Idaho every single year. More than 8,000 that we know of. That's an almost incomprehensible amount of animals that are unnecessarily dying in the state.
These same people who are having to care for these animals then run out of space and have to make a decision to euthanize the very animals they're caring for.
If we can stop that so that people don't have that as something that they have to do, I think that's an imperative. We're not shy from big challenges. We really do believe that Idaho can be no-kill. There needs to be a catalyst to make that happen, and we really felt like we were uniquely positioned. We've done it here locally. We know we can do it for the state.
We have an opportunity and a responsibility to go out and help these other communities and share the knowledge and the resources that we've worked so hard to gain. So we are building a coalition to make Idaho a no-kill state by 2025. But big vision requires big action. And through the generosity of countless individuals, we are building a new facility to make this dream a reality. It is time for the animal shelter to rise up and have a facility that makes possible the part that we can play in making society better.
A classroom, a training center, a humane education center, all these resources are meant to reach out and support the state in this initiative.
Positioning ourselves to be a model and a leader, training facility for other shelters.
Our current facility, no joke, is held together with zip ties and duct tape. We need to have an animal shelter or a facility that represents our commitment to the animal population that we have.
We'll be able to house more animals in a far better way.
Reducing disease, noise control, making sure they have adequate exercise and stimulation, all that is built into this facility.
We are also increasing our commitment to the people behind every animal.
For 30 years, the organization I work for has been called the Animal Shelter. But we realize this no longer defines us. As we begin to build a new facility, we'll be looking at the word humane and letting it guide us to who we want to be. Because in order to be a truly humane community, we must care not only for animals, but the people attached to them as well.
We have such a community of animal lovers here. When we start working together, it's going to be limitless.
Idaho can be a place that is synonymous with animal welfare, and we invite all of you to join us in this great vision that we have for the future for Idaho and animal welfare within our state.